Welcome to my first vegetable garden. In today's episode, episode 5 of Starting Seeds Indoors for new gardeners and on a budget, we're going to talk about fertilizing your plants. First 4 episodes we covered lighting, containers, soil mix, watering. These are the 5 basic things you need to know to really grow seed starts successfully indoors. Please subscribe. I'll be going over how to grow herbs, flowers, cool weather crops, warm weather crops for the rest of January, February. The whole key with fertilizers is to not overfeed your plants. If you concentrate too much fertilizer into the little cells of your seed starts, you're going to damage your plants. Too much fertilizer can sometimes make your plants look purple, can create yellow veining, can cause other problems. And what we think right away is there's a nutritional issue, that they don't have enough nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, so we give them more fertilizers, and then we end up killing our plants. Now, I've been talking about how your seed starting mix should be sterile. There's no soil life in there. I recommend using boiling water to set up your soil so you kill off fungus gnats and any potential problems with eggs being in there. Because there's no soil life, you don't really need to put dry granular fertilizer in there. That's usually the dry organic fertilizers. If you put them in, what they're going to do is they're going to just kind of sit there. They're going to get moldy. They're going to grow fungus. It's not going to hurt your plants, but they're a slow release fertilizer, and soil life has to break that down. Whatever granular bits you're putting into the soil has to be broken down, and then the NP and K is available to your plants. We're not doing that here. It's perfect for out in the garden in your containers. For seed starting, I recommend just using a basic water-soluble fertilizer. You can buy organic water-soluble fertilizers like fish emulsion. I recommend, if you're going to do that, to purchase AgroThrive. It's in my video description. But organic granulars can really smell indoors. And again, because there's no soil life in there, and because the chemical fertilizers that scientists make, people make, they don't harm your plants, they don't harm you. I recommend using a chemical type water-soluble fertilizer, and they look something like this. You can buy, if you don't like the company Miracle-Gro, you can buy Vigoro, you can buy Plant Expert. These are water-soluble. They have usually like a 24 nitrogen, 14, let's say, potassium, 16 K. That's way too high. The 12, 14, 16 numbers are too high. You want to dilute your fertilizers down, especially the chemical types, by at least a quarter. So what do I mean by that? That's 1 tablespoon. That's what you use for outdoor gardening. You put 1 tablespoon into a gallon of water. This is how I fertilize my indoor plants. I take a pinch, just that much. 1 goes into a gallon of water, and then I take a second pinch. This is what I use for when my plants are small, they're just getting started. If they get larger, something like this, then maybe I go to 3 pinches. That really reduces the strength of the fertilizer. Instead of having a 24, 12, 16 NP and K, it brings it down to well below a 5, 5, 5 NP and K. Perfect number, hard to find. I would recommend 3 nitrogen, 1 potassium, 1 phosphorus. But it's hard to find that. Just dilute your fertilizers down so that they're well below a 555 NP and K. And of course, there's not a gallon of water in there, but I would fill that up to the top. And what I do is, when I do my bottom watering, you can check that video out, once a week when they're smaller, maybe when they've been growing for a bit, like right up here, instead of just plain water, I'll put in water with the fertilizer. And that's good for a week. As they get larger, they get to this size, they're growing well, I may do that twice a week. It's going to vary based on the size of your plants, how quickly they drink up the water that's actually in the soil. The key with the fertilizing is that you're giving them less now. And if your plants look like they're struggling, like if they turn a little bit yellow, maybe they're not growing well, they probably need more fertilizer. You didn't over-fertilize. So when you see a little bit of yellowing, you can increase the frequency of fertilizing them. Just give them a little bit more. And the key to this whole use of fertilizers in seed starting is not to over concentrate them in the seed cell. If they get a little bit yellow because they don't have enough nitrogen, you can fix that real easily. The plants recover. But you can't remove fertilizer out of these cells easily if you over-concentrate it. Budget-wise, you really don't need to put any kind of fertilizers into here if you want to save some money. After the boiling water is in there, things have cooled down, you've made a sterile mix. If you want to add something, maybe some worm castings, that's always good for your plants, but it's more of an expense and you really don't have to do it. I recommend just keeping this as is, and then when you come over to here, get your plants set up, you can slowly start adding in the diluted chemical types of the water solubles. If you're going to use fish emulsion, a lot of them are like a 511 NP&K, that's fine. It is going to smell. The organic type water solubles can create some mold and some growth on the soil because it's organic matter. It has to break down. Again, there's no soil life in there. You might see some fungus, some molds. That's okay. It's not going to hurt your plants. The biggest difference really is the odor. The other benefit of the chemical types is they have everything. They have nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, sulfur, calcium, micronutrients, even sometimes vitamins and different things in there. It really gives your plants everything they need to get off to a great start. Once you get out into the garden, switch over to your organic ways. I go to compost and organic fertilizers. I use AgroThrive outside, and they're going to do really, really well. Just to be clear too, to give them the fertilizer, just check out the watering video that's in the video description. All the other 4 videos are in the video description. And you just water them in with the diluted fertilizers, and your plants are going to thrive and they're going to look great. Again, please subscribe. I'll be going over everything you see here. How to grow tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, squash, cucumbers, spinach, leafy greens, brassicas, onions, herbs, flowers, all kinds of different crops you can get out into your garden and save some money. This is the cheapest way to grow vegetables as seed starts, and then really just have a good experience because you're saving money right off the bat. Everything you see here, just FYI, if I had to go buy this separately, $4 a plant, we're easily talking $150, $200 already spent. This setup, I sell all the stuff at my seed shop, you probably get all the stuff, 40 bucks, and you can reuse it year after year. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com, and please follow me. I'll show you how to start all kinds of herbs, flowers, and vegetables indoors. Thanks for watching.